You're listening to the My Simplified Life podcast, and this is episode number 163. Welcome to the My Simplified Life podcast, a place where you will learn that your past and even your present don't define your future. Regardless of what stage of life you're in, I want you to feel inspired and encouraged to pursue your dreams, simplify your life, and start taking action today. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, and I'm excited to share my stories and life lessons with you while taking you on my own journey. This is My Simplified Life. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac. Now, you know I have the most utter complete respect for entrepreneurs. I think that taking a chance on yourself, on the world, on launching a business, a brand, a service, something that is completely unknown and terrifying is absolutely amazing. And I think I've shared this before. I know I have on Instagram, but there have been times where I'm so in awe of other people who launch their own business that I often forget that I've done it myself and that I'm living exactly what these people have gone through and are living themselves. And it's interesting because it takes so much work. It takes a belief in yourself. There's ups and downs. There's doubts. There's excitement. It's like a whole roller coaster of emotions. And I started this in my late 30s. So to find today's guest was so exciting for me because Joann Zehenni is 18 years old and she launched a business when she was 15. She started it and it's successful. She has a product that's in JCPenney stores nationwide. It's absolutely incredible. But more than the fact that she's launched this business and is finding success, the big part is that she's doing it for a good cause. She's doing it to help her family. She's doing it to help other people. And part of her profits go back to this cause in helping research for lupus. So I am very excited to share with you Joann's story and to introduce you to Gemini Beauty. Hi, Joann.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited to talk to you because you're probably my youngest guest.
That's perfect.
But you are very accomplished. So I'm so excited to talk to a young entrepreneur. You are in the throes of it with school, with work, with everything you're doing. So before we dive in, can you take a moment and introduce yourself to everyone, please?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Joann Zehenni. I'm the founder of Gemini Beauty, and I'm 18 years old.
You're a baby.
I know whenever I say that. I know whenever I say that, like, people either think I'm a lot younger or a lot older. So no one ever believes I'm 18. So.
And now your company is Gemini Beauty, and share with everyone what it is.
Yeah, so it's a fruit-based skincare line that takes from my personal heritage. I'm Ukrainian and Lebanese, and the entire line is dedicated to my family. So each product has a certain meaning behind it based on each family member and my personal experience as a consumer. And I started developing it when I was 15 and then launched when I was 17. So it's been out there for about a year now, or a little bit over a year now. And I've just had the best time curating it and working with new people. And a big part of Gemini Beauty is beauty for a cause, which is a big part of me, as my whole idea of it, because I personally have borderline lupus. Certain members of my family have lupus. So our Beauty for a Cause is working with Lupus LA, and they're an amazing organization based in LA. The head doctor of the organization is a family friend and someone who's helped my family a lot. So not only is Gemini Beauty working to help you find comfort and confidence in your skin, but also we want to help the lupus community in any way we can because it's definitely had an impact on my family since I was very young. So I just wanted the brand to have a wider reach, not only in skincare, but just overall wellness and holistic health.
And how did you start this at 15? Because let's be honest, 15, I was taking driving lessons and I was looking for my first job. It was Baskin Robbins and that was where I was at. But of course, this was it wasn't pre-internet, but it was still, we didn't have as many resources as you have today. But how did you decide that this is what you want to do? And go after and do it? Because I know there's some
Yeah.
connection with your grandma too. So I want to hear that.
Yeah. So I've always been very much into skincare. I personally have really, really sensitive skin. So I would always be testing products. And I'm a huge fan still of like watching beauty secrets on Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, Get Ready With Me, all those celebrity videos of celebrities sharing their favorite skincare tips and tricks. And I was so interested in it that I would buy these products. Or I mean, at least I would try to. They're really expensive products. I really didn't have very much, I didn't have a very big opportunity just to buy, but I just wanted to try as much as I could. But again, as a 15-year-old, I kind of was so eager to try everything, but at the same time, I knew that, I don't need anti-aging products. So it was kind of fun for me. But then once I began to try those products that I saw online or, just by reading on the internet, I realized that none of it worked for my skin because of how sensitive it is. And so I started studying what's exactly in those celebrity skincare products and figuring out what worked for me and what didn't. I eliminated any retinoids and retinols because of course I didn't need it at 15. But over time, especially when the pandemic hit, I had so much free time on my hands. I started working with my twin sister. So I kind of I had nothing else better to do. So I worked with my sister, and then I just loved working. And then I kind of wanted to do something that I really, really loved. And that's kind of how skincare started. And I lived with my grandparents and my parents, my twin sister over quarantine. And all I did is I saw my grandma making skin masks and face masks and just by herself in the kitchen with strawberries, honey, Greek yogurt. She often used berries that she used when she was little in Russia, various berries that you can just grow in your backyard. And that's what she did because we have a little garden in our backyard. So we all lived together and I saw her constantly telling me in the morning, you need to put turmeric on your face for dark spots or, the Greek honey is really healthy for your skin and that skin barrier. So after seeing all of that and really taking the time to study the market and the ingredients because I wanted to be as knowledgeable as possible before starting a brand because it's a full-time commitment. I can't just start and I realized that because I come from a family of entrepreneurs and I see that once you start something that's it, that's your whole life. So I didn't want to at 15, and this was more when I was closer to 16 years old, 16 and a half, I realized that this is what I wanted to do with my life. And as a joke, my mom and I went on walks every day during quarantine, in our neighborhood. And I said as a joke, that's my dream to start a brand. And I even interned for a really great skincare brand over quarantine as well. So I was learning a lot from them and the R&D department. And so she was like, why not start now? So then all of that together, even though that is a lot. And there's more to it, but that's kind of the gist of it. That's how I started Gemini. And that's really that was the catalyst of everything.
So while everyone else was watching Netflix and catching up on their books, you were like, I'm just going to launch an entire business.
I mean, I did watch a lot of YouTube. I was so obsessed with, I remember there's this YouTube channel, Beauty Within, that my older sister recommended to me that I was so obsessed with. And all they do is talk about various skincare products and the study of your skin, the layers of your skin, what's acne prone skin, sensitive skin. So I was just that was my full interest and it just took over my head over quarantine. It still does.
And so now you're in college, you're at Loyola. So obviously an underachiever by far. We know this already. What are you studying and how is that going to help your brand and your company?
LMU has an amazing entrepreneurship program. So I'm an entrepreneurship major. I've already taken an entrepreneurship class where really we just learned a lot about various entrepreneurs and how they became so successful. And I remember we listened to some podcasts, we read books, we read online. And even though, and also we learned about the psychology behind entrepreneurs, which is really interesting to me. So by learning about all these different entrepreneurs gave me a lot of hope personally, because in each podcast, they went through a variety of obstacles each individual went through. And I know I've already experienced so many different difficulties or obstacles just in building the brand in itself. So hearing that these people, even for years at a time, were at their lowest or, didn't have sales or, had difficulties with a venture or selling, whatever it may be, it gave me hope because I know that everything's very temporary and they worked through it by just brainstorming different ideas and asking for advice. So I learned a lot about the most successful entrepreneurs and I just had a lot of fun learning about it because I tried to listen to their tips and involve it in my life. So it was great.
I didn't even know that was a major. That's
Oh yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
I know. Whenever people say that, like whenever they're like, "Is that really a major?" But it's so great, and a main reason why I chose LMU was because of the major. Because I wanted to stay in LA, and I also love the school. I went to Marymount High School, so it was perfect. Like kind of like all the morals and ideas aligned in the school. So I love it here, and the major in itself. I'm so excited to take more classes, and because I know they have so many, like there's so many to choose from. So I'm excited for next year
And the
too.
campus is beautiful.
Very, very beautiful. I know. I love it here.
It's gorgeous. I went to
Mhm.
UC Santa Barbara, so
Oh,
anything
okay.
close to
Yeah.
the beach,
So nice.
yes.
It's perfect. Yeah, for
Live there
sure.
while you can, because someday you might not be able to
I
afford it.
know. I know. I'm trying to take advantage of like living on campus and like just being in the area with all my friends.
So how are you running the business from your dorm room? Because I know you are. The
Yeah.
pictures of, all the beauty products are there in your room.
Yeah.
Are you doing all of the shipping and everything else that's involved?
Yeah, so I mean, so I know isn't recorded, but it's like right under my bed. So I have a cabinet under my bed with all the Gemini supplies, and then I also have a storage space where I keep all the inventory if I ever need a big shipment. But yeah, so my mom for last Christmas got me a little label machine maker. So for like UPS labels, so I use that, and but luckily the main thing is my computer and my phone because for social media, emails and like UPS and shipping, everything is on my computer, which is so great. It's just so about like once every 3 weeks, I go to my I go to my storage space and I take more inventory and bring it back to my dorm. So I really just restock whenever I need. And I've had my friends and my neighbors like come and help me ship products, and we have like little shipping parties. And so everyone's been so helpful here, and I love it.
And then how did you go through finding like someone to create the end product
Yeah,
because that's all been part of it, I'm sure.
yeah, for
The
sure.
packaging, did you have to get like FDA approval? Like
Mhm.
what have you had to do all of this in addition to it?
Yeah, so over quarantine, it took about a year to create the products and launch the products. And I worked with a really great lab, and they have several chemists who I worked with. They helped me with all the testing, all the certifications needed. So I worked with them for a long time, and I went through a lot of testing. Testing takes, you know, 12 plus weeks. So it's a lot of waiting as well, and just waiting for approvals. And even after the products came out, I kept doing focus groups with my friends, my families, people that who I didn't even know. So it's still an ongoing, just like getting everyone's opinions and getting reviews, which is always so great to hear when people love it. And I love also taking people who I may not know, or a friend of a friend who maybe has rosacea, and seeing how they like the products. And I've already gotten so many great feedback. And also, like, for example, a close family friend of mine, her sister has rosacea. So I was like, I would love for her to try these products and let me know she uses it, and she loves it. So it's always great to like have, even though that might not be on the website reviews, I like to know it, and I like to share
Yeah.
it with people whenever it comes up. So it went through a lot of testing, and as of right now, I'm creating more products to launch in the summer, and that those products are currently going through testing. I'm wearing some of them right now. So even though it is kind of a tedious process of just waiting and waiting and talking to chemists and trying to study the products as much as I can, when they come out, it's so rewarding. So I'm so excited for the new launches as well.
That's amazing. I feel like you're going to be on Shark Tank soon. We're going to see
That
you
would be
and I'm going to be
awesome.
like, I interviewed her. My kids would, they would gas on that one. You'd make me
Oh
famous
gosh.
by doing that. We'll get you
Oh,
on
that'd be
there.
awesome. Please.
I love it. So, is your plan then to finish up college and then go full force into this?
Yeah.
And I kind of envisioned the way you're talking about how I love that you brought up that there's skincare products for, people who are aging. We want our collagen and our retinol and all of this
Yes, yes,
stuff.
yes.
And then looking back to when I was a teen, it felt like everything was like for acne and your
Yeah.
blackheads and your
Hmm.
pores and all of this,
Yeah,
but
for
there's no
sure.
kind of in
In
between.
between. Yeah,
But it
for
seems like
sure.
you could also evolve your brand as you
Yeah,
get older and what your needs are. You can just
for
create
sure.
whatever you need.
I know, it's amazing. I remember when I was creating the new products and I was brainstorming with my mom like a few months ago. She was like, "Can you make the most expensive products with caviar and just like the most anything CLG?" And she was just naming like a bunch of really crazy things because she was like, my whole family uses the line, and I was like, of course, like as I grow as a consumer, I'll get your guys' opinion and my opinion and curate products that I personally want to use, because that's really the goal, because I didn't have any confidence or comfort in my skin for so long. And that's a prime reason why I created the brand, because of my skin sensitivity. So as I grow as a person, the brand is growing, and even the new products that are coming out in summer really reflect that. And I've made a lot of changes to it too. And I know that as of right now, I'm going into the idea of just solely working on in between products, like a basic moisturizer every day. A really, well, this is new. I won't get into the new stuff, but just in between products. And I think, hopefully in a year or so, I hope I can get into those kind of external like products of like acne base, anti-aging, SPF, what lip products maybe. I'm still trying to brainstorm, but it's definitely going to change over time, and I'm going to keep adding.
Did you have guidance on pricing, making a profit, all of that stuff? Because I know that especially these days,
Mhm.
like kids come out of school, even myself, you don't know how to balance a checkbook. Some don't even know what a
Yeah.
check is. So to
Yeah.
launch a business before you've even started college,
Mhm.
that's a big learning curve too. So
Yeah.
how did that guidance work? Who did you turn
So
to?
yeah, so I talked to my parents a lot, and like I said before, over the summer and over quarantine, my sister and I worked, so I was able to save money to initially start the brand. So that was like that was like a push to my parents, being like, can I use this money and start the brand? Because, I also had to show that I understood the market, so I had to present it to them. And my parents, I talked to them a lot. They pointed me to several people who are just family friends who are in the accounting business, banking business. And so I talked to them. I also spoke to, again, just some family friends who worked in marketing in general, and seeing, how much I need to save up for marketing. What do I need for pricing, just for in general cost of goods? I had to learn what a cost of goods was. My dad, he made me sit down with a friend of his and write a cost of goods worksheet and do all these different things before even starting the brand. So, and I'm still learning all the time. Even now, I talk to my mom all the time, and with just people that she knows, about how to, focus on now, like how income's involved. In the beginning, it was just what are the expenses, but now that income's involved, how that really works. So I'm still learning, and I talk to people that I know, and a friend of a friend of a friend, that sort of thing, because that's really all I can do. And also just study online. I watch a lot of YouTube videos again, and in the future, I was looking at, the future classes I'm going to take at LMU, and a lot of it is business accounting and business finances. So that's definitely going to help. So it's just, I'm constantly learning, but a big part of that is just asking advice from the adults around me.
And what do your friends think? Like if with other entrepreneur majors, have they
Yeah.
launched a business, or are you like the special odd one out who's like, yeah, I'm there. I'm
um,
just backing up to learn.
I mean, I know, I remember the first day of entrepreneurship class, we were sharing like like our connection to entrepreneurship. And I heard a few kids in my class, like they have jewelry businesses, and I think a tech business. So there's definitely a lot of kids in that major who like are going for it already. So it's just so cool to hear, because at the end of the year, or end of the semester, we had to do a project on our venture, our business venture. And I did it on a variation of Gemini Beauty. And I saw so many crazy ideas of all the other people in my class with their business ideas, whether they started it or not. So there's so many people that have started it, and it's just so interesting to learn about.
Oh, I love it. What do you like? What do you strive to be? What is your end all? What's your goal?
Yeah.
What would be like, oh my gosh, I've made it type of thing?
Sephora. Sephora, any big retailer. I love it's not, just a Sephora, but I love Derm Store and Ulta and Credo Beauty and Detox Market. Like all of these big retailers is my dream. I'm currently working with 13 Loon, who is an amazing retailer, and they were such a dream of mine as well. And I have been able to work with them for about a year now, maybe a little less than a year. And I work with them in their partnership with JCPenney. So Gemini Beauty's in 75 JCPenney stores. And like, that's already like one big dream of mine that, and they've been so amazing to work with. And Nikeo, who's the founder, has done such an amazing job of curating the whole, and also she does have a co-founder, but I've really spoken with her, and she's done such an amazing job with putting all these brands together at a online retailer and soon to be in-person retailer. And each brand has such a different story, and it makes it so much more fun just to like browse through the website because each brand is so unique and so niche and different that it's been so amazing working with them. But I would say like just expanding the line hopefully over the next few years is that's my dream.
Shark Tank in your future. I see
I
it.
hope so. That would be awesome. I love it.
I love that you mentioned though that every brand has a unique story because your story is really what caught me. You know, I'm not
Thank you.
young. I need the retinol and the collagen products. But you know, to me it was like, oh my goodness, this 18-year-old college student she's already launched this before she even went to school. And you're building this brand and you had a publicist reach out to me. I was like, this is really freaking cool because I was not there at 18.
No, it's been like just the coolest experience, and I also a prime reason why I wanted to start it was because I was I wanted to be in the comfort of my home, the comfort of my college, and have the flexibility to be a student, but also start my dream. Like I didn't want to wait, and we were considering just waiting until after college, and like I just couldn't do it. And every day since I have the date in my phone because I took a photo of just the Gemini symbol online, even though that's not affiliated with the brand. I think it was 2020. So it was a few years ago, and every single day since then I've thought about Gemini Beauty, like whether that's just like before sleep or during. I do have a habit of during class, which isn't good. Like I have to be better at separating school and Gemini Beauty, but I'm constantly trying to expand the brand and also be a good student as best as I can. But I'm so happy that I was able and to start and have the opportunity to have my family help me and just give me all the advice they have.
What is it? You've mentioned this a couple times that once you started working, you fell in love with working. What is it? Because I had a full-time job in college and I fell in love, I think, with the money. I loved, I was like, this is awesome. I get paid. Yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah. But I too fell in love with work. I have to be busy. I love working. Yeah. I work for myself and I could go all day. What is it that you have found that you love so much about working?
I think it's the outcome of the work. So whenever I see like I'm in my neighbor's room a lot, like every day, and I see like on my friend like Maggie's desk like my products that are almost out, and she needs to like get her refill. And it's just like I just love seeing people love the products, and like every time when I've hit some sort of difficulty in creating the brand, like all I think about is the end result and what I want. And even though it might take a while, or I just have to have patience, which I've really had to learn. But that's just what I love. Like I think I get it from my parents, but they never, like my mom never sits still. And I think she's always been like, don't ever be like me, like learn how to relax. But I think it's in my genes or something. She told, that's like me and my sister, like my twin sister's also like that as well. And like my whole family. So it's kind of just like I've learned from them, and I constantly want to be doing something. Like it doesn't have to be Gemini. It could be anything. It could just be going out to be with my friends, but I just can't sit still. So I always just love working on it, and I also have like I love being busy, and then some days I really don't. It just depends on my mood, but overall I love seeing the outcome of everything, and I like to keep myself busy.
And where did the name Gemini originate? How did you come up with that?
Yeah, my twin sister and I are Geminis, and I know it kind of is a little bit misleading, like kind of the astrological sign is a brand name, but I love the idea of Gemini because my twin sister is such a big part of the brand. She helped me, like I think she even, I was telling her about it on the very first night and saying, I want to start this brand. And I was really nervous to hear what she had to say. And she was like, you should say, I was like, I need a tagline. She was like, you need to say like, you're a gem and find the gem in you. And like, she helped me with all like those creative thinking. And so she came up with a tagline. So that's like a big part of the brand is with her. But also beauty is very two-sided, like, how Geminis are. Or what they're known to be. So I find beauty to be kind of like very specific to the person, but you also have to look at beauty holistically and look at what your body needs, because you could be taking care of your skin, but internally your body maybe needs a different diet, or you have to cut out gluten or dairy. I mean, I also had to figure that out too, and kind of like my health journey and changing what I eat, because I realized on those days when I break out, I look at my skin and see what it needs, but then I also try to think about what I've been eating. And if I eat too much dairy or gluten, I have to realize to like slow down, because you have to target a problem holistically, but also each person has a very different skin type. So you can't just use one product and hope that it solves all your problems. You have to really understand it. You know, sometimes people's skin is dry, but on certain months of the year, like it can produce excess sebum. Like it just really depends. So I try to be mindful of that, and that's kind of why it's called Gemini Beauty. It's like everything's very two-sided.
I love that. I love when you said
Thank
beauty
you.
is two-sided. I was like, oh, we're going to pull that quote. I promise you, that's going
Yeah.
to be a graphic.
Oh, awesome. I love it. Yeah, but and even that like idea, like I knew going into the brand that I wanted beauty for a cause and Gemini Beauty to be like the two main, well, I mean, of course Gemini Beauty is going to be a main word because it's the name, but the idea behind it, I wanted that to be a prime, um, like kind of all in your face. Like when you hear Gemini Beauty, I want that idea to be out there, but also beauty for a cause, and also just like finding the gem in you. Like you just want to find your happiest self, and that can be through skincare and holistic health. So that's the brand. I hope one day will be more than just skincare. So we'll see.
Oh, I love it. You're amazing. I hope that, I know
Thank
your
you.
parents are proud. I'm sure they are, because how could they not be?
Thank
You're
you.
doing incredible things. And I love that, it's a skincare line. It's not like you went out and created a new makeup, like eyeshadow that was a different
Yeah.
color. Like you're doing something that's helping not just yourself, your family, but you're on a mission to help other people, which is absolutely incredible. And to
Thank you.
recognize all of this at such a young age, that's amazing. You're incredible, Joann. I'm proud of
Thank you
you.
so much. Oh, thank you so much. I know I'm so excited. I hope when all the new products come out in summer, I would love to talk with you again and
Yeah.
to share with you all the new stuff that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, especially summer. I'm thinking hot sun, something, and I do have a pool,
Yeah.
so I might
Yeah.
need to test those products for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're coming over.
How can
Well,
everyone
thank
find
you.
you, and how can they place orders so you can package in your dorm
Yeah.
room?
So GeminiBeauty.com, that's the prime website that you can buy the products, but also you can find us in 75 JCPenney stores throughout the United States. And then also 13loon.com. And then you can also shop through their Instagram, 13loon. And our Instagram is Gemini Beauty Products.
And what's your main product? Like, what's the like your mothership product type thing?
Ooh. I mean, out of all three of them, I mean, I guess my ride or die is the moisturizer, the daily brightening moisturizer with lychee and cowberry. But all three have they're so different, but when you use them together, they're just far more effective. Like I personally love using our moisturizer. I put it in my hand and then I put a few drops of the daily glow serum, and it gives you such a natural glow, especially now that it's winter and cold. I tend to get pretty dull skin, but as I've been consistently using the products, I don't experience that dullness anymore. And also the eye cream is really great for under eye bags and just waking up in the morning.
I need to go on the website again. How would someone know that they can put the drops of the serum into the moisturizer? Do you like give instructions or tips on that, or is that something that
I
I just have to
usually
know?
I mean, it's not on the box. I don't even think it's on the website. I just personally like to do it. I mean, maybe I'll add it on the website one. Maybe I'll do it today. Why not?
I'm
I'll
one
just
of
add it
those
on the
people that
website.
I wouldn't know what to
Yeah.
do. It's the same thing with my hair.
Yes.
I'm like, should I use a
Yeah.
product? I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely the same way, but also, like the prime way to use it is use your serum first, moisturizer, or you can do your eye cream serum moisturizer. It just depends what your skin needs, but also I love using the glow serum as a primer for makeup because it's a really great consistency, like a primer. So
And
yeah, it's
morning
been really
products,
good.
what do you do at night?
Um,
I
oh,
should
I
have
do.
asked this before.
Oh, I mean, I use the same three products morning and night, but also at nighttime, sometimes I like to add an exfoliant. So maybe a BHA or a PHA. I love like Pharmacy or Dr. Jart's PHA and BHA, just like twice a week.
Okay, so I'll take
Yeah.
notes after this and then
Yeah.
go redo my whole,
Yeah.
you
But
know.
again, like it's so different. Like my mom loves to use a retinol at night, but then also my sister loves to use a vitamin C. So it just really depends on what your skin needs.
My
Yeah.
favorite thing right now is for Christmas, I got a 24 karat gold mask. So
Ooh,
it's
that's so
all
nice.
gold. It looks weird, but it's the best working thing.
Wow.
Like I've tried
It's
the
a
charcoal
mask?
things.
Okay.
They don't do
Yeah, I
great,
don't
but
know.
and
Yeah.
it's like a not a liquid. It's like a thick,
It's pretty thick,
creamy,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
And put it on. I'm like, but I can
That's amazing.
feel it clean afterwards.
That's the best.
Yeah.
I love using a face mask or some sort of physical exfoliant at least once or twice a week because I feel like products are amazing, but sometimes your skin just needs a little bit of a physical exfoliant or mask. because each product has a different molecular size. So you kind of want to like play around with your products just to see how they work with your skin.
I love it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Oh, I
Thank you
can't wait
so
to try
much.
everything and to see you just grow and get out
Thank
there and be on Shark Tank.
you. I'm so excited to see what you think, but thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, friends, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go revamp my whole skincare routine because it is lacking and I want the bright, beautiful skin that Joann has, even at 41. But I'm so impressed by her story, by her journey, her grit, her want to do this, to help others and to succeed. And I love that she's taking courses and a major in college that are helping her do this to propel forward, and that her family is totally supporting her, that she's educating herself. It's so refreshing and it's so exciting. So I'm excited to support Joann however I can, to have her come back on the show in the summer. We'll definitely be talking about her new product line that she's launching. And to simply go give her a shout out, go check her out on Instagram, go visit her website, buy a product, because anything that's going to help your skin is a win for you. But knowing that you're not only helping this young adult's dream, but you're also helping a great cause with lupus research. So go and search out Joann and Gemini Beauty. And take this as your sign that you're never too young or too old to start something new, to chase your dreams, to launch that business. You have it in you to do what needs to be done. So take that inspiration and go run with it this week. I look forward to chatting with you all next week.